it's open you to exposure of the more air pollutants. The third thing is about the third myth is about the only long-term exposure to the air pollution is harmful. However, the research says that it increased the 10% of the risk for the asthmatic patients. Also, it affects the normal human being as well when they open to exposure to the air pollution. Fourth, last but not the least myth is about the visible air pollutant is more dangerous. So when we see the smoke or any things it's burning, we see the smoke coming out and we say, oh, that's the air pollution. But that's not only the air pollution. Some of the gas pollution we can't see from our naked eye, such as the VOCs or CO2 or ozone. So these are the myths and fact from where I want to start my talk. So I hope that clear about some people when they have a myth for the air pollution. Uh, for us, the main focus is about the monitoring indoor air quality with the engagement of citizen engagement approach actually. We use the low-cost air quality monitoring sensors to monitor the air pollution indoor because as we know that for the outdoor government pushing very hard, they have the stations, but they are not covering all the areas. Uh, so to monitor the indoor air quality, we use the low-cost based air quality monitoring devices. Also, our study is about the human behavioral change. Can we change the human behavior that lead or that raise the awareness or that can spread the awareness about the air quality among the citizens? So can technology helpful us to raising awareness and tend to behavior change? To do that, as Shelly mentioned about the low cost sensors, and Agot also mentioned, Agot mentioned about the low cost sensors. That when we talk about the low cost sensors, can we rely on the data? So for the reliability, we need to calibrate our sensors. To do the calibrations, we have deployed our devices at the DEFRA, one of the air quality monitoring station. You can see at the bottom image in Bradford, and another air quality monitoring device at the Sheffield Urban Observatory. And we successfully calibrated the particulate matter, PM2.5 and PM10 sensors with this reference node and also the CO2. And this kit has also the temperature and humidity sensors as well. That is a part of our calibration process. So once we done with the calibration, for the calibration, we use the machine learning techniques such as a multivariate linear regression, multi-layer perceptron, convolution neural network, and the random forest. So as you can see, the images, the blue line shows the data from the reference node from the Sheffield, and the orange one after the calibration. Using for this of technology for this machine learning techniques, we can see that the random forest has the better performance for the PM sensor calibration. So we use the random forest for our sensor calibration, and it's also published in one of the well-known journal from sensors. So after the calibration, what we did, we built our indoor air quality monitoring kit. As you can see in the image, it's a lunchbox size kit, which monitors the temperature, humidity, carbon dioxide, TVOC, PM2.5, and PM10, also the CO, NO2, and NH3 as well. This kit is tested, verified, and calibrated in lab and outdoor environment, as I said, and it has also the health and safety approval as well before deployment. So now that's a big part. That's a part of our aim for monitoring indoor air quality among the citizens. Now about the behavioral change. So some of you might not know about the combi model. So the combi model is used to intend to change the behavior or influence the behavior or the monitor the behavior among the citizens. So the combi is means the capability, motivation, and opportunity. So as you can see in the wheel, which is the based on the COM-B, so it's the behavioral change wheel. So the capability, means if the citizen have the capability to change his behavior, can he or she can change his behavior or not? Motivation, if we give them a provide a motivation or give them a motivation to change their behavior, can they do the change their behavior for a particular particular or certain event, or we can say the targeted behavior. Also, the last one is the opportunity. If they get the opportunity, can they change their behavior? So to support our study and analyze the behavioral change, we use the Combi model. Also next to is the behavioral change model. So the behavioral change model is based on the Combi model, and it's surrounding with the 9 interventions. As you can see in the red line, there are the 9 interventions which help us to analyze and influence the human behavior for the study. So the plan of the study is for the 3 weeks. We engage with the citizen in Bradford, and we organize the workshop to for the engagement. And we haven't revealed all the details with the participants. So out from the workshop, based on the socio-economic factor, their location, and whether they have the asthmatic patient or not, as like initial questionnaires, we ask them, and based on that initial questionnaires, we finalize 8 participants for our study. So study is laid out in a 3 parts. So it was a 3-week study. So after the engagement with the citizen, in the first week, we deployed the sensors to participant houses, and we asked them to fill the daily digital diary, but they have no access of their indoor air quality data from our low-cost monitoring sensor devices, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. So that's the first week of study. From the second week of study, they still continue with filling the daily digital diary, and the intervention we introduce with the help of digital visualization platform, which I'm going to talk in the next slide. And for the third week, they continue with the filling the diary, and at the end of the third week, we conducted the interview. So the purpose of this study is to evaluate whether we can influence their behavior using with the digital interventions, which we built up or which we develop using with the Combi model. So for the applying the with the help of Combi model and the behavioral change, we successfully implemented the 4 digital interventions for the influencing their indoor activities, such as the domestic product use, because the domestic products are a main resource. You can say one of the main resource for the causing the indoor air quality, or causing the indoor air pollutants. Also, the use of ventilation. If they are not using a proper ventilation, such as opening the windows, or they don't have any sort of ventilation in their houses, that also influence the indoor air quality. So based on that, we design our 4 digital interventions. So the first intervention is when they log in with on the digital visualization platform, they see the pop-up message with every time with the new message, like as mentioned here, the use of the wall ceiling exhaust fan. Are you using proper ventilation or not? Or did you check your air quality with our dashboard or not? So that's our first intervention. The second intervention is, as you can see, they have the access from the second week, their indoor air pollution data, such as PM2.5, PM10, and the CO2. Also, we have provided the context of the WHO and the UK limits, so they can compare whether their air quality is better or not compared to the certain limitation provided by WHO and the UK. There is another, sorry about the image, but that's it's not readable. I know that, but there is 2 more bar graphs at the end. So today's week average and the last week average. So they can compare the air quality data from the last week. So they are doing a better or not. So it's like a comparative analysis by the participant. The third intervention is about how many times or how many hours they're opening the window, whether they are doing good or not. So that click in their mind that if I'm doing a better, I can get the reward as a good, or if I'm not opening the window hours for the proper ventilation, I'm doing a terrible things for a week time. Also, we provide the information about the ventilation, what sort of pollution generated by the domestic product, what are the impacts of the pollutants on their health. So basically, all 4 interventions in impact on their behavior for improvement in indoor air quality. And we found that there is an improvement in indoor air quality as well. Now, as I said about the digital diary, so it's a three-step digital diary with the questions. Whether are you opening window or not, how many hours you're opening window, how many hours you are doing cooking. So in a way, these questions let them think about that why this air quality is going worse, or why what sort of actions I need to do to improve the air quality. So in a way, this digital diary also help them to understand what is the scenario for improvement in air quality, or what are the action or what are the indoor activities I'm doing inside that causing or that influencing the indoor air quality. So the outcome, so out of the four indoor air quality analysis, we successfully see that the window opening hours has the more influence on the indoor air quality. And that is a behavioral change you can see from the data analysis from week 1, where when they have a no excess of indoor air quality, however, they are just filling the daily activity log. So you can see from the more than 3 hours window opening activities is increased in the from the second week and the third week. So from the second week, when we introduce the interventions, that is a behavioral change. Also, from the first week to the third week, you can see when in the first week they haven't opened the window. Okay, its answer is about 20.31%. But from the second week, after the introducing the interventions, there is a decrease in did not opening window. So in a way, it's you can say that there is a behavioral change for improvement in indoor air quality by from the citizens. Also, there is a temperature comparison, because sometimes people have the tendency that it's cold weather outside and I don't want to open the window. But you can see from the study which was conducted in May, from the week 1 data, week 2 data, and week 3 data, the temperature was around 13°, but still there is an increment in the more opening windows, or window opening hours are more. Also, we found when we analyzed the indoor air pollution data for CO2, PM 2.5 and PM10, you can see from each household in a week 1, the pollution level was high, but after the introducing the intervention, the pollution level was getting low. That also indicate that there is a behavioral change in the participant from week 1 to the week 3. About the product usage as our intervention, as our aim for the changing in indoor activity. So as you can see, the interview was conducted after week 3. So we have quoted from the participants that they are using less oil. Sometimes we have windows opening more and less use of candles in my house. So these all are quotes from the interviews we conducted. And also they said some of the products they are using, one of the Liac 8, our participants said that me and my family are now more concerned about the bleach usage. So the information we provided in the form of the digital intervention that has impacted participant for behavioral change. So in the conclusions, if we use the behavioral change model, which provide a method for introducing the digital interventions that work very well in our study. Also, these interventions are grounded to support the psychological capability and the social opportunity, which we have used using with the BCW method. And we have demonstrated that using the combi model can change the behavior concerning two and impactful activities such as use of the domestic product and proper use of ventilation. And we have also seen the measurable change, as I show you with the graphical presentation, that indoor air pollution has been decreased from week 1 to week 3. So it means that after introducing the intervention from week 2, there is a drastic change in the air pollution level as well. So yeah, that's my talk. Thank you so much for your attentions.
Okay. Thank you, Rameez, for your presentation. There is a question from Kyla around the demography distribution of your participants. What types of homes were represented in the sample? Were any of your participants living in council housing?
When we organized the workshop, the houses we found based on the initial questionnaire are 80% terrace houses and 20% semi-detached houses. But none of the participants were living in a council houses. So they all are either rented or privately accommodated.
Okay. And I think if you want to also comment on the demographic distribution of your participants, that might be ethnicity and, other
Yeah.
aspects which were,
It's
okay.
it's a mixed ethnicity. Some of participants have ethnicity of Asian, Pakistani, Asian, Indian. Some of are Arabic. Some of are British. So I can say that it's a mixed demographic distribution for our
And,
study.
mhm. And it's also a small sample size as
So
well.
small sample size, yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, or if you, Kyla, if you want to follow up with any other questions? Karin has asked, did you also investigate the long-term behavioral change?
No, that is our aim to study in a future time. But that's a short study we conducted for the 3 weeks.
But that could be an interesting angle to take it forward. Thanks, Karin. Um, Anyone else would like to? We have few minutes, so we can take few more questions. Okay, if not, thank you very much, Rameez, for your presentation. We go for the next one, which is Professor Kostas Karatzos from Aristotle University of Thessaloniki in Greece. And Professor Kostas is going to talk about computer